Alrighty, folks, I'm now 3-0. My last three board member tier package plays following Thursday. I had the over in the Bears-Washington game on Thursday Night Football, and both teams combined for 60 total points. And the good news is, folks, I have another board member tier package play going off here today on Friday night. And the good news is, if you sign up for that membership, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships every single day during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. I'm also 7-2 in my last 9 board member tier package plays in that very same package. I currently have over 770 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. What I do on my premium site is I actually share with you which one of these free picks on these videos that I actually like the best. Once again, the website is patreon.com/BrockPage. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Oklahoma, Texas, 12 o'clock East. The Longhorns are -5, total 60.5. Now, to start, I do think the Longhorns have had some more impressive victories through a handful of weeks. They've beaten up on the likes of Kansas, Baylor, and Alabama. Meanwhile, on defense, they were pretty dominant in those games. This Longhorn secondary is currently limiting opponents to just 53% passing. And when it comes to defending the run, they're a top 20 rush defense as well. And that could potentially bode well for them because the Sooners on the other side, they really don't run it all that great. And they're more of a pass-heavy scheme. Now, this Longhorn defense is led by Jalen Ford, who's got a team-high 32 tackles. And even though on paper these teams are fairly evenly matched, I do have some concerns about this Sooner defense who, don't get me wrong, they've looked good in the opening weeks here. Having said that, though, this Oklahoma pass rush, they haven't been stellar, kind of non-existent. They're 105th in the country in sacks. You're going to want to, get some pressure on Ewers here on Saturday. Now, total-wise, the Sooners saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the total. 3-2 to the over for the entire season. Give me Texas -5 over 60.5. Next ball game, Alabama, Texas A&M, 3:30 p.m. East. Bama's the 1-point favorite, totals 46. And despite being the slight favorite in this one, I think the Tide's quarterback position is going to hurt them here. Alabama's completing just 13 passes a game. And that Alabama quarterback room is also running themselves into sacks. When you got no line as good as these guys, the problem's the quarterback, not the guys up front. The problem is not the guys up front. Your quarterback is doing a disservice to your receivers and your offensive line. The Tide's getting sacked 4 times a game. That is the quarterback's fault. And, of course, they're facing one of the most relentless pass rushes in the country in Texas A&M. Turner and Cooper have 6.5 sacks between the both of them. Now, the Aggies, as an entire pass rush, they've gotten to the quarterback 20 times in the backfield this year, so could be a long day for Bama. And I'll tell you what, a lot of that could be the reason why A&M's ranked #1 in the country in completions allowed. They're actually giving up an NCAA low 12 completions per game. Could be an absolute nightmare of a game for Jalen Milroe or whoever they decide to throw in there. Now, offensively, I don't particularly see the Aggies running it down Bama's throat, but they are getting consistent production out of the quarterback position. The Aggies are in the top 25 in completions per contest. Now, 2 out of A&M's last 3 ball games fell under the total. Bama saw unders recently against the likes of Ole Miss and South Florida. Jimbo Fisher has been keeping receipts for many years, and I think finally this could be one of the seasons where he can cash in on one. It's a rare occurrence, but I think he's going to do it. Give me A&M +1 under 46. All right, next one, another SEC showdown, Kentucky, Georgia. That'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Georgia is minus 15, totals 47.5. And for a team laying 2 scores in a conference showdown, the Bulldogs have struggled covering the point spread. Out of 5 total ball games this season, Georgia's covered the number just once. And despite how good this defense is, I'm not sure they're getting to the quarterback enough. I can't imagine they're going to get to Devin Leary too many times. Leary's been sacked only 4 times this year, and Georgia's actually 99th in sacks per game. And speaking of the Kentucky Wildcats, they've been nearly impossible to run against defensively. These guys are allowing under 2.6 yards per carry. Linebacker Trevin Wallace, he's been a big contributor to that. Wallace has 27 tackles, 3.5 sacks, a pick, and a forced fumble. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, it's running back Ray Davis who's carried the load. He's got 8 TDs on the ground already, and he averages 7.8 yards a carry. Now, total-wise, the Wildcats did see unders against the likes of Akron and Eastern Kentucky. Meanwhile, Georgia saw 3 out of their last 5 stay under the line. Give me Kentucky plus 15, keeping that one close, under 47.5. Next ball game, Colorado, Arizona State, 6:30 p.m. East. Colorado's the 4, is it 6:30 or 7:30? I think it's 6:30, right? 6:30 p.m. East. Colorado's minus 4 total, 60. Now, the Buffs are on a 2-game skid, and they have arguably the worst defense in college football. There's only 2 other schools in the FBS who's given up more yards a game than these guys. And even worse, there's only 1 other school in Division I who commits more penalties than these guys on defense. And another huge problem for the Buffs has been quarterback protection. Now, obviously, the O-line hasn't been great, but people are a little bit blinded by the fact that a good amount of sacks are on Shedeur. They don't want to admit it, and I get it. The guy's athletic, great, incredible arm, but he lacks pocket presence at times. He holds on to the ball too long. Game management, not there. Clock management, not there. You don't call audibles in the 2-minute drill. Come on, man. I don't think he has command of the game situations as much as people give him credit for. But anyway, Shedeur's been sacked 25 times already. Most of those are on him, in my opinion. And the Buffs are fairly unwilling to run the football. They average only 2.6 yards per touch on the ground. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Colorado's last 4 did stay under the total. Arizona State, on the other side, saw all of their ball games this year stay under the line besides 1. Be on the lookout for Prince Dorba and B.J. Green. These are the 2 sack leaders for this Arizona State defense. And one more thing to add, guys. It's going to be hot as hell at Mountain America Stadium Saturday. Very hot. I think it's going to be about 100 degrees, so keep that factor in mind. You also have to consider the motivation factor. I think Colorado, who's arguably not the better team in this matchup, I think they're actually going to be the ones that take Arizona State a little bit too lightly, probably going to prepare a little less intensively as they would for maybe an Oregon or a USC. They were on the big stage. Now they're back into that Pac-12 schedule. Not sure there's going to be as many eyes on this game as there were last week and the week before. Give me Arizona State plus 4, under 60. Next and final breakdown for the video. Notre Dame, Louisville, 7:30 p.m. East. The Irish are minus 6, totals 54. Now, Notre Dame's been really through the meat grinder already. They faced the likes of NC State, Ohio State, and Duke, who all 3 of those teams are competing at a very high level. And defensively, the Irish actually did take care of all 3 of those teams for the most part. This is an Irish secondary who's tough to throw against. These guys are limiting their opponents to just 46% passing. That is best in Division I. There's no other team who's got a lower completion percentage defensively. They lead the country in that category. And no real shock here. They're allowing just 146 yards a game through the air. They've got a top 5 passing defense. Xavier Watts, he has a pair of interceptions from the secondary. 27 total tackles for the safety. And the combination of Cross and Bertrand, they have nearly 70 tackles between the both of them for Notre Dame. And that could mean bad news for quarterback Jack Plummer for Louisville. He's been fairly interception prone. He's likely to turn it over. The quarterback's thrown 6 interceptions thus far through a handful of games. And this Cardinal offense also tends to shoot themselves in the foot. They're 100th in the country in penalties per game. And if you think this Louisville defense is going to keep them in it, their pass rush hasn't been good enough. And they really haven't been opportunistic turnover-wise. Not a whole lot of takeaways. Now, one more thing to add about Notre Dame here. They've certainly had success this year moving the football. They're averaging over 7.4 yards per play, and they've done a real nice job of protecting Sam Hartman. The quarterback's thrown 14 touchdown passes, and he has not thrown an interception yet. Now, the Irish last 2 straight fell under the total. Louisville saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under the line. Give me Notre Dame -6 under 54. And with that, folks, now it is time for our quick pick recap. Boston College +3.5 under 50.5 points. Missouri +5 over 64. Rutgers +13 under 44.5. I'm 3-0 my last 3 board member tier package picks. And the good news is I have another board member tier package play going off here today on Friday night. The link is in my bio. Give me Virginia money line. Toledo -18.5 over 56. Texas -5 over 60.5. Mississippi State -20 over 56. Maryland +20 over 57. Marshall +7 under 44.5. Temple +14 under 55. Central Michigan -3 under 52. Give me Northwestern money line. I have no free pick for you in the Washington State UCLA game. Give me Iowa -2 under 39. Wake Forest +21 under 52.5. Virginia Tech +24 over 53. UNC -9 over 60. North Texas +6 under 61. Texas State +3 over 68. Eastern Michigan -2 under 43. Miami, Ohio -10 over 44.5. Ohio Bobcats -26 under 46. Akron +5 over 42. Texas A&M +1 under 46. Kansas +1 over 64. South Florida -3 over 68. Arkansas State +16 over 52. Vanderbilt +19 under 51.5. Rice -9.5 under 47.5. Tulsa +3 over 54. Arizona State +4 under 60. Kentucky +15 under 47.5. UL Monroe +10 under 51. Old Dominion +2 under 58. Arkansas +12 over 62. Notre Dame -6 under 54. Minnesota +18 over 46. Miami Hurricanes -19 under 57.5. Baylor +2 over 59. Iowa State +7 under 53. Colorado State -3 over 62.5. Fresno State -6 under 45. San Jose State +10 under 57.5. Oregon State -9 under 52. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Arizona Wildcats +22 over 72.